Thanks for joining me, Renee Fong, on the evening edition of News on 2. Malaysia's efforts in helping convicts through the rehabilitation process in prison, especially in reducing the rate of repeat offenders, is recognized by the international community. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said Malaysia's rate of repeat offenders at 7.6% is among the lowest in ASEAN. Commenting further, Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid said only 0.4% out of 17,500 convicts released on parole since 2008 were repeat offenders. He said there are several developed countries where their repeat offenders or recidivists rate is more than 50%, meaning convicts who leave prison after going through rehabilitation and punishment continue to commit crimes.
Hasil daripada program itu kita dapati pencapaian perlakuan jenayah berulang itu juga menurun. Yang saya panggil tadi dalam bahasa Inggerisnya recidivism, ya, menurun. Dan ianya berada di tahap 0.6%. Yang 0.4% tadi CRP, parole 0.6%, but overall achievement of recidivism reduction 7.6%.
He said this after chairing the Royal Malaysia Police PDRM Management Meeting at the Melaka Contingent Police Headquarters. Also in attendance were Chief Minister Datuk Sri Idris Harun and State Police Chief Datuk Abdul Jalil Hassan. The Anti-Fake News Bill 2018 aimed at curbing the dissemination of inaccurate news and putting in place deterrent measures was tabled for first reading in the Dewan Rakyat today. The bill was tabled by a minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Azalina Othman Said. According to the bill, the proposed act aims to protect the public from the rapid spread of fake news while ensuring respect for the right of freedom of speech and expression under the Federal Constitution. It interprets the inaccurate news as any kind of news, information, data and reports published which in part or whole and in whatever form, including write-ups and visual or audio recordings, are false. Once the bill is passed, anyone found knowingly creating, offering, publishing, printing, distributing, circulating or disseminating any fake news or publication containing it is liable to a fine up to 500,000 ringgit or imprisonment up to 10 years or both. In a related development, the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission MCMC has taken action against 4,358 fake accounts from January last year until February this year. Communications and Multimedia Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Saleh Tun Said Kurwa told the Dewan Negara today that 80% of these fake accounts had been deleted by social media platform providers such as Facebook and Twitter for violating the terms and conditions set by their respective service providers. In addition, Datuk Sri Dr. Saleh said a total of 45 investigations papers were also opened by MCMC in the corresponding period involving various social media platforms, with 4 cases brought to court. He added that MCMC had also blocked 40 websites, portals and blogs that disseminated fake news and information.
Berdasarkan analisa yang dijalankan oleh pihak SKMM, majoriti masyarakat Malaysia memperoleh berita tidak ditentu sah atau palsu daripada sumber WhatsApp 84%, diikuti oleh Facebook 8%, blog 4% dan lain-lain 4%.
On the Sebenarnya.my portal, he said it had received positive public feedback based on the number of hits that had reached 25 million so far, with an average of nearly 2 million hits per month since its launch on March 14th last year. The government has made it mandatory for medical practitioners, childminders and family members to report child abuse cases to the authorities. Failure to do so will result in those responsible facing a jail term and fine, in line with provisions under amendments to the Child Act 2001.
jika mana-mana orang selain pada yang disebutkan tadi itu mempunyai sebab untuk mempercayai bahawa seseorang kanak-kanak telah dicederakan daripada segi fizikal atau emosi akibat daripada teraniaya daripada segi seks, mereka bolehlah memberikan maklumat itu kepada seorang pegawai kebajikan masyarakat. Yang ini tidaklah diwajibkan, tetapi mereka diminta juga untuk menunaikan tugas tanggungjawab sebagai ahli masyarakat yang bertanggungjawab untuk melaporkan jika kes-kes seperti ini berlaku.
Responding to a question from Kulim Bandar Baru Member of Parliament Dato' Abdul Aziz Sheikh Fadzir, Dato' Azizah added that aside from the Social Welfare Department, child abuse cases can be reported via the Talian Kasih 15999 hotline and the police. Since 2015, police have recorded 1,109 child abuse cases and 7,379 underage rape cases. 411 cases of drug abuse among secondary school students were detected within the first 2 months of this year alone. Of the total, 403 cases were detected through urine tests conducted by the National Anti-Drug Agency AADK, while the rest were arrests made by the Royal Malaysian Police PDRM. Deputy Education Minister Datuk Chong Sin Woon clarified that these students committed the offence out of curiosity, adding that they are not hardcore drug addicts. He added that the partnership between the ministry and AADK was formed to conduct urine tests on students suspected to be involved in drug cases. Students who test positive will be sent to AADK to undergo a rehabilitation program for a period of 3 months.
Kita mengenal pasti golongan yang berisiko tinggi ini, kita akan kerjasama dengan AADK supaya melakukan urine test. Dan setelah didapati positif, kita akan menjalankan satu program selama 3 bulan bersama dengan AADK. Selepas itu kita akan membuat susulan. Kalau masih lagi didapati positif, maka kita akan hantar pelajar ini kepada di bawah jagaan AADK untuk melaksanakan program pemulihan yang lebih panjang.
Speaking to the Dewan Rakyat, Datuk Chong also said schools will create various anti-drug educational programs for students with support from AADK and PDRM. The Putrajaya Court of Appeal today has allowed the appeal made by Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak, One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB and the Malaysian government to strike out the lawsuit made against them by Gerakan Anak Muda Tolak Najib Ganti. The lawsuit was filed by the Pakatan Harapan Youth Movement over a settlement bond guarantee amounting to 35 billion ringgit to the International Petroleum Investment Company, IPIC. The decision was made unanimously by a 3-member panel which comprised of Datuk Ahmad Asnawi, Tan Sri Idris Harun and Datuk Kamardin Hashim, who were satisfied that Ganti has no legal right to file a lawsuit against the Prime Minister, 1MDB and the government. The bench also set aside a High Court ruling ordering the 3 to file their defence. On July 11th last year, 10 individuals led by Parti Amanah Negara Youth Deputy Chief Muhammad Faiz Fazil sued Datuk Seri Najib, 1MDB and the government, demanding them to make a declaration and disclose the account used in its dealing with IPIC. The corruption trial involving Pulau Pinang Chief Minister Lim Guan Eng and businesswoman Pang Lee Kun began in the Georgetown High Court today. The trial, in connection with the conversion of land from agriculture to residential and the purchase of a plot of land in bungalow at below market value, began with the prosecution submitting amended charges to both the accused. However, Guan Eng and Lee Kun pleaded not guilty to the amended charges read out before Judge Datuk Hadrayah Syed Ismail. Guan Eng and Lee Kun arrived at the courtroom at 8:50 a.m. Only 20 media practitioners were allowed into the courtroom to cover the hearing. The public, including members of the media, were at the court compound since 7:30 a.m. and were only allowed into the courtroom at 8 a.m. after passing through a metal detector. The court also allowed the prosecution's request for the cases involving Guan Eng and Lee Kun to be heard jointly. 2 men were charged in the Johor Bahru Sessions Court today for allegedly planning a terrorist attack between December 11, 2017 and January 31, 2018. The accused, security guard Mat Noor alias Ismail, 30, and technician Nik Muhammad Zaini, Nik Hassan, 37, were charged with the intention of committing a terrorist act on a building at number 1, Jalan Abu Bakar, Johor Bahru. However, no official confession was recorded from the accused when the charges were read before Judge Kamaruddin Kamsun. The duo are charged under subsection 130JD subsection 1 Act 574 of the Penal Code, read together with section 34 of the Penal Code. Meanwhile, another security guard, Muhammad Zaki Ibrahim, 49, is charged with possessing videos of the Daesh militant group's activities in both his mobile phones and tablet. Deputy Public Prosecutor Muhammad Fazlan Muhammad Noor appeared for the prosecution, whereas the accused were unrepresented. The court set April 26 for case mention while waiting for the forensic report and terrorism expert analysis. All the accused were refused bail owing to security reasons. A total of 200 million ringgit has been allocated for 12 fishermen settlement projects nationwide in a bid to raise the living standards of fishermen as part of the government's transformation plan to turn Malaysia into a high-income nation. Speaking at the opening of Muafakat Kedah Fishermen's Housing Estate in Tanjung Dawai in Sungai Petani, Kedah, a first of such project, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak said the fishermen's cost of living allowance of between 200 and 300 ringgit could offset the rent for the house.
Katalah kita dapat RM250 daripada kerajaan, kita tolak 150 untuk rumah. Jadi kira rumah ni dapat free sebenarnya, sebab duit itu daripada kerajaan. Inilah keistimewaan, tuan-tuan. Mana ada kerajaan lain di dunia yang menjaga kebajikan nelayan macam kerajaan Barisan Nasional kita.
Datuk Seri Najib stressed that the Barisan Nasional government have always looked after the welfare of the people and was equally concerned about the plight of the fishermen in the country. Congestion along Jalan Maruf, Jalan Semantan and the junction in and out of the Damansara city centre will soon be a thing of the past upon the completion of the 1.34-kilometre elevated road construction. Federal Territories Minister Datuk Seri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansor said the 211 million ringgit project would be completed by June 2020. Datuk Seri Tengku Adnan said the project is a Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL initiative with Tertuan WCT Sunan Berhad appointed as the lead contractor and Tertuan SNA Consultant Berhad as the consultant.
Apa yang kita lakukan ini ialah untuk memberi keselesaan kepada warga wilayah Sultan. Walaupun kita perlu kepada pembangunan, tetapi kita juga akan melihat aspek keselesaan warga.
He was met after the groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of the Sprint Highway Jalan Maruf to Sprint Highway Jalan Semantan elevated road today. On another note, Datuk Seri Tengku Adnan said he was perplexed by young Malaysians' refusal to take up jobs such as shop assistants in the city centre. He said it is saddening to see only foreigners manning the shops and stalls in Kuala Lumpur despite most of the business and premise licenses belonging to locals. The participation by international exhibitors, which took up 37% of the 1,100 booths at the Malaysia International Halal Showcase 2018, MIHAS 2018, is expected to open up for opportunities for local companies to expand their businesses at the global level. Malaysia External Trade Development Corp Madrid CEO Dr. Muhammad Shahrin Zainuddin Madrus said the number of exhibitors has increased and so far over 800 exhibitors had already registered compared with 612 the previous year. Dr. Muhammad Shahrin said the increasing number of international participants alongside the big players in the market including Visa, MasterCard, Fraser and NIAF, QSR Holding Berhad would do good for the local players.
We've lined up, compared to previous years, we've lined up quite a lot of programs as well that diversify MIHAS, not just dependent on the food and beverages. There's a lot of emphasis on financial, Islamic banking, there's a lot of services and other sectors of the industry. So, It's a growing trend that we are moving, not just putting one emphasis, and that's also the growth of MIHAS. Yeah? It's the growth of the halal industry in general.
He was met while briefing reporters today on the upcoming MIHAS 2018 scheduled to be held on April 4th to 7th at the Malaysia International Trade and Exhibition Centre, MITEC. The event is a component of World Halal Week 2018. In 2017, MIHAS gathered 576 exhibitors from 33 countries, with China, Indonesia, Thailand, Taiwan and the Philippines having the highest number of exhibitors. The contribution in total trade value for last year was 1.1 billion ringgit. The East Coast Rail Link project, ECRL, once completed, is expected to bring changes to Kelantan's development and economic landscape. International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad said the ECRL will also benefit the people of Kelantan as it will provide them with better communication routes.
Ini merupakan satu kali yang akan berlaku di Kelantan. Bila perhubungan yang baik, pelancong dan peniaga orang Kelantan sendiri lebih mobile, ini dengan sendirinya akan meningkatkan kegiatan ekonomi. Jadi itu harapan kita. Dari segi pelaburan, mungkin Kelantan akan lebih menarik ya untuk pelabur datang ke sini. Sekarang ini jauh perhubungannya 7-8 jam, ECRL ni 4 jam ya.
Datuk Seri Mustafa, who was met in Kota Baru, Kelantan, stated that works on the ECRL is on track and the project will create 3,000 jobs once it begins operation in 2024. The 55 billion ringgit mega project stretches 688 kilometres, which connects Kelantan to Port Klang, Selangor. Malaysia will be left behind when compared to other developing countries if the number of skilled workforce is not increased to face the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Human Resources Minister Datuk Seri Richard Riot Jaim explains that if this matter is not addressed soon, 60% of the current number of skilled workers will be unemployed in the near future.
Sekurang-kurangnya menjelang tahun dalam rancangan Malaysia ke-11 ini yang berakhir pada tahun 2020, sekurang-kurangnya peratusan pekerja yang mahir di negara kita dari 28% sekarang akan ditingkatkan kepada 35%.
Datuk Seri Richard said this in his reply to a question that from Sabak Bernam Member of Parliament Datuk Muhammad Fasiah Muhammad Fakih. Commenting on the Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET, Datuk Seri Richard Riot explained that a collaboration of the Ministry of Human Resources, other ministries and major agencies took about 7 months working on an action plan and research on short, medium and long-term effects. The Environmental Quality Act 1974 needs to be amended to address current environmental issues in the country, including the prohibition of polystyrene usage. Natural Resources and Environment Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said there is no national policy to administer the use of polystyrene and plastic, and that currently the matter is under the jurisdiction of state governments.
Dasar sedia ada, iaitu dasar penggunaan sisa pepejal yang diperkenalkan oleh Kementerian Kesejahteraan Bandar, Perumahan dan Kerjaan Tempatan, turut memberi penekanan kepada pengurusan sisa melalui konsep 3R, iaitu Reduce, Reuse and Recycle. Isu pengurusan sisa plastik adalah di luar bidang kuasa Kementerian Sumber Asli dan Alam Sekitar. Kementerian ini melalui Jabatan Alam Sekitar bertanggungjawab mengawal operasi premis industri saja menghasilkan plastik.
He was replying to Segambut Member of Parliament Lim Lip Eng's query on Barisan Nasional's pledge to provide free plastic bags in Selangor if the coalition managed to regain power over the state. Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi added that the Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry is currently doing a detailed study on the types of biodegradable plastic that can be used throughout the country. The move would help to reduce plastic wastage and landfills which pose a threat to the environment. The United Overseas Bank Malaysia Berhad UOB Malaysia has maintained its projection for the US dollar ringgit to strengthen further to 3.80 by year-end despite trade tensions. Economist Julia Goh said the projection is based on supportive global growth conditions, higher domestic private consumption levels and private investment spending, and an orderly foreign exchange onshore market. According to Goh, flows into the ringgit would likely resume after the impending general elections. She said the ringgit could gain more as many investors remain cautious and had held back their investments now until the uncertainty from the elections are over.
Given that, fundamentally domestic conditions are still stable, we have seen GDP growth rising to a 3-year high last year, and the ringgit has actually stabilized and strengthened. I think that generally FDIs would be, I think, we should expect more FDIs and portfolio investments coming in after elections, assuming no unexpected surprises.
Briefing reporters today, she however expects the ringgit to be less susceptible to sharp spikes in volatility compared with other regional currencies, as it is supported by favourable domestic growth drivers. The Success Terengganu cycling team TSG at the 2018 Le Tour de Langkawi LTDL, which ended at the Taran Merdeka yesterday, was very meaningful to the local cycling fraternity after it being monopolised by European and Latin American riders since the prestigious race was introduced in 1996. TSG's Russian rider Artem Ovchkin won the yellow jersey as the best overall rider, prompting captain Mohammad Zamri Saleh to praise him for having demonstrated high commitment to achieve success with TSG. Mohammad Zamri said Ovchkin was always thinking of his chances of defending the yellow jersey every day. Ovchkin won the yellow jersey despite finishing 37th out of 104 riders in the final stage of the 2018 LTDL yesterday from the Taran Rembau to the Taran Merdeka, involving a distance of 141.1 kilometers. He clocked an overall 32 hours and 6 minutes and 45 seconds after completing the final stage of the 2018 LTDL. That concludes this evening's news on 2. In our top story, Malaysia has lowest recidivist rate in ASEAN. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Till we see you again.